It was supposed to be one of those elegant, high-class evenings in Washington's elite political calendar. But this year's John F. Kennedy Profile in Courage Award ceremony turned into something far more emotional than anyone expected. And at the center of it all was Caroline Kennedy, holding back tears as she spoke about a loss too personal for public eyes. Caroline Kennedy, daughter of former U.S. President John F. Kennedy, stepped onto the stage at the Kennedy Presidential Library in Boston with her usual grace. But this time, the atmosphere shifted the moment she began speaking. The crowd quickly realized this was not just another ceremonial speech. This was a mother speaking from a place of deep heartbreak. In a rare and emotional tribute, Caroline honored her late daughter, Tatiana Schlossberg, who passed away at just 35 years old after battling acute myeloid leukemia. According to multiple reports, Tatiana had revealed her diagnosis publicly months before her death in December 2025, after undergoing a difficult medical journey following the birth of her child.
But at the ceremony, Caroline didn't focus on politics first. She focused on family. And that's where things got emotional. With her voice breaking at moments, she described Tatiana as someone who represented everything her grandparents stood for, highlighting her quiet strength, her work as an environmental journalist, and her dedication to public service. Tatiana had also served on the board of the JFK Library, quietly continuing the Kennedy legacy in her own way. The audience, which came expecting speeches about courage and public service, suddenly found itself witnessing something deeply human. A mother remembering her daughter in front of hundreds of guests, cameras, and political figures. But the emotional weight didn't stop there.
Caroline also acknowledged her family's presence that night, including her son, Jack Schlossberg, who has recently been stepping into the political spotlight with his congressional campaign. She praised him warmly, even suggesting that her father, President Kennedy himself, would have been proud of the next generation continuing the family's public service tradition. Still, despite the applause and political energy in the room, it was clear that Tatiana's absence was the quiet shadow over the entire event. Tatiana Schlossberg, the granddaughter of JFK and Jackie Kennedy Onassis, was known not just for her famous last name, but for carving her own path as a writer and climate journalist. Her death in late 2025 shocked many who followed the Kennedy family's public life, especially after she bravely shared her illness in a personal essay months earlier. At the ceremony, guests listened in silence as Caroline's tribute turned into what many described as one of the most emotional moments ever seen at the annual award event. Some attendees reportedly held back tears as she spoke about love, loss, and legacy.
By the end of her speech, the mood in the room had completely shifted. What began as a formal celebration of courage had turned into a powerful reminder of something much deeper. Even America's most famous political families are not immune to grief. And as the applause finally rose, it wasn't just for public service anymore. It was for a mother who found the strength to speak about her daughter in front of the world.